Old Pride in Ghoti Runick. What in the world is happening here? Make sure you guys smash the link grab out of that subscribe button so you guys do not miss out on more awesome content. Now, your breakdown for this event is actually very interesting because Kashtira and Fire Kings are actually tied for your more dominant forces out here, which is kind of interesting when you think about like how the meta is. But a lot of people have been very pro Kashtira right now, just as a deck to kind of clean up a lot of these problems that we're seeing being tossed around in the meta. We also had Manadium actually end up winning the event, which is actually pretty good. We also had the power of Centurion, and then what are these last little two back here? We had Gold Pride coming out of nowhere and actually doing quite a lot here, which I'm very happy to see Gold Pride still doing well. And then we also had this Ghoti Runick deck pre the Phantom Nightmare support, which is crazy to me to see that this deck is already performing up to an interesting standard. So, okay, now let's pass on over to those deck lists. All right, so starting things off here, we have Manadium, and this is just field spell gas through the deck. I mean, you have the Razor, the Calarium, good old Ryctophobia. We're not playing Paralineo, which is fine. I mean, we don't always have to play it. I recommend it sometimes. And also, this deck is playing Dimension Shifter. This is a little bit nice of a shift around here as we kind of, get a chance to see some interesting little things along the way, I suppose. But, okay, your meta, I mean, in terms of, like, what you want out of this deck, it's interesting. You are definitely on a lot more of a Kashtira base, though, for this deck. Because, I mean, obviously, Fenrir and Unicorn are just the amazing goats of this format. You want to make sure that you can get these spot removal options and play the game. I think these might be the only reason why this format's even remotely tolerable right now, which is kind of funny to actually say. So good stuff to actually see a little bit different of a take for this deck. We don't always have to play the same thing. Next up here, we have Centurion. Yes, finally, we're seeing Bonfire get to use in here because we can actually pull for Trudea. Alright, I know a lot of people tend to forget this, and a lot of people are like, no, you don't need to play Bonfire. Being able to speed up the process to get to the Trudea, to make sure that you can, get to your value, and make sure, you can get this deck going, that's exactly what you want. Alright, do not underestimate the little bits and pieces that you actually do need to play out here in order to, step through the pieces and get things going. That's just kind of how the meta is right now. Also, shout out to Red Supernova Dragon. Every time I see these decks out here, actually getting the chance to play Red Supernova, it's genuinely very happy to see that, these old calling cards from back in the day that we actually kind of enjoyed actually are seeing some play. So, good stuff. All right, next up here, we actually have Pure Kashtira, and then, wow, we're sporting out 45 cards. I think if this is anything, it proves that, we can see these decks play these very large amounts of numbers and actually do well. I also find this interesting. We're actually playing double crossout designator. I mean, are we worried about our draw? Like, is that it? Like, I mean, under Shifter, are we worried about this? Like, I just don't know for what purpose that it feels like we really need to be playing this, but I mean, nonetheless, it did manage to make top cut here, which is very good. I'm very happy to see that, this deck can actually perform right now. And, I don't know, there's just something about the way that the meta is right now that, seeing something like this as a control option. Also, hi Snatch Steel, how are you? Very, very good to see. All right, next up back here, we have we have good old Fire King good stuff. Now, you have another build here, playing Crossout Designator, which is fine, alright? You have more of these decks, I feel like, out here that are trying out some of these, I guess, more make sure that I don't lose to the randomness along the way. I don't know, I feel like at some point you're just going to get blown out to something random, but you try to use this to prevent things. I mean, what are you even crossing out? I mean, like this, maybe a well-timed dash. Okay, I feel like that's your way. Also, hello, DD Crow. Crow has been gaining a lot more popularity as of late. Crow especially is like a stop functionality out here to a lot of these decks is actually very, very good. You know, being able to carry away something that's going to be a problem, easy. We also have Drolls, you have the Bells. Bells also been a very big centerpiece of this format, so very happy to still see that this is doing its thing. Alright, we also have, hey, it's our Gold Pride deck. We're playing double Tour Guide? Just nothing else? Okay. So I guess this is one of those cases where you can go Tour Guide into Tour Guide and then kind of start making combo here. It's because you want to see the Chariot carry and do your thing. I also see that we are playing double Ready Fusion here just for the Fusionist, which is actually pretty good because, you know, once again, 2 level 3 monsters, you get you off to the races. Yeah, I know, terrible pun. Indeed. The biggest thing here is, like, you want to make sure that you can see, you know, the abilities to start getting into this. We're also playing Sea Monster Theseus in here as well, which also, you know, having that larger side tuner, you know, suddenly you're able to get into Baron de Fleur a little bit easier. Also post-side decking, we have Board Breakers out the wazoo. Okay. You have the Droplets. Main decking Triple Cosmic. Okay. This is fairly impressive just to kind of see the things that we can do here. Okay. What else we got going on back here? More Kashtira. Yes, the Life Force Sword. You know, we saw this floating around a long time ago, where you would be able to use this and kind of cheese your opponent out of the game with a Rise Heart, because Rise Heart could just attach whatever you Life Force sorted away from your opponent, and it was a free material. This duelist is still playing this. Also, you know, 45 cards. Okay. We're also playing the Dimensional Fissures in here as well. So whatever is going on within the course of the meta here, you're going to have so many answers to, you know, so much of this stuff that I actually think that this works out relatively well in your favor. Outside of that, I mean, tech choices like this, I mean, you also board in Necro Valleys. You know, we're more of the anti-meta side of Cash right now, and that's fine. All right, you want to make sure that, you know, your opponent cannot. It's definitely one of the bigger things in the meta right now. It's our Ghoti Runick deck. You know, we don't have the new stuff yet for this. You know, it'll be legal here very, very, very shortly. But to see that somebody entered into an event with this on the pregame is pretty impressive, actually. You know, they were able to kind of take advantage of the meta, and I don't think a lot of people were really ready for, you know, the little interactions that you can get with these big guys back here. We're also playing a copy of Reasoning, so your sifting options for this deck definitely were a lot better than I think a lot of people. I mean, what do you call out here? You got 2s, 5s, you got 6s in here with Bice deals. Like, a deck like this is definitely able to do some, I would say, more interesting things. People were also not prepared, and one aspect of the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is catching your opponent off guard. Very, very, very crucial to the dueling experience. So, overall, good stuff for this. Alright, hi, Fire. Yes, it's just not a standard day unless we have more Fire Kings out here. Dead into the fire of the meta. Once again, those crossouts, man. So many people were packing in. So many crossout designators for this event. Like, I'm genuinely kind of surprised, but at the same time, you know, you just want to make sure that you're able to cover all of these bases and make sure that you can punish your opponent to be able to play the game. But overall, I mean, that's your top 8 experience. Now, we do have a 13th place Sky Striker deck I wanted to toss in here. You do see we have the Raise the Rose. We are doing Foolish Burial Goods with the Metalphos Fusion. That's something that I don't really feels like shows up all that much anymore. Like, the idea of having the Metalphos Fusion to help you out is good. You do see the thrust and the talents. And then, of course, we have Gamma Seals to take care of those pesky problems. And we also have Evenly Matched to kind of duke things out and keep the game flow nice and even. And we also have a 14th place Fire profile with the Flame Swordsman. We're actually playing a Burning Dragon in here. Now, most of these little lists we've seen have tried to incorporate like the Infernoble stuff with this, just to be able to try things out, but this is a little bit different. This is just where you're using more of a Flaming Swordsman base, and you're using this to kind of combo off. You are playing Gamma in here with the driver as well. This is very interesting to see. Also, hello, value of Instant Fusion. Okay, this is cool to see. So what do you guys think about the breakdown for this event? Some very interesting little fun stuff along the way. So please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.